Wonderful. I'm really happy that you are watching this video right now. This means that you are really ahead in this course. So, today we will figure out how to use the monitoring and evaluation process inside the nonprofit organizations or inside the projects of the nonprofit organization using a theory of a change and accordingly the log framework or logic framework. Okay, so in this session, we will have an overview about how to use the monitoring and evaluation system or the participatory monitoring and evaluation system, starting from doing the logic framework or logical framework analysis. Okay, so after watching this video, you will be able to create your participatory monitoring and evaluation system throughout your log frame from the beginning of the writing process of your project. Okay, this is what is called theory of a change or TOG. If you are working in a nonprofit organization, especially in the fundraising sector, you will definitely have heard about this terminology, theory of a change. Okay, so what is it exactly and how this is be used inside the nonprofit organization as a way for designing the participatory monitoring and evaluation process. Okay, so we are having a program or a project inside our organization and we would like to write it. So we would like to understand our current evaluation for the situation of the communities that we are working in and our desired vision of our organization and also the mission that we would like to work accordingly. So we have some inputs. These inputs can be what we want to invest, our knowledge, our fund, our money, our skills, in order to do some activities and reach some goods or services at the end of the project or during the implementation of the project to make some outcomes or impact. These outcomes will be in the short term, like at the end, what will happen to the people after they participate in the activities at the end of the project or at the end of the course or at the end of the session if it is something like a conference or something like this. And what is the impact that the people have after 5 or 3 years even from attending this session or course. So at the beginning we assess the needs for the people. We did some auditing for our finance, for our capacities, for our strength, for our opportunities, as we learned in SWOT analysis, in order to formulate some activities to reach some outputs and some outcomes. So we need to do evaluation for all this, to do evaluation for our needs before we start the project, to do some monitoring after we implement some activities, to do some evaluation for these activities in order to reach the outcomes or the impact of our project, to make sure that we are fulfilling our key performance indicators that we put at the beginning of the project or our mission and vision inside our organization. Okay, so we use the logic framework with the concept of implementing the theory of a change, because the theory of a change helped us to design the logical framework analysis, or it helped us to write the matrix of the logic framework. There are different ways of logic framework. There are the reversed one. There are different designs. Use whatever you want. You will see a lot of examples in these slides, and you can use whatever you feel suitable for your eyes to see, and also for your way of thinking, and also for your way of summarizing how your project will do a theory of a change. Okay, so how we will use the logical framework analysis. This analysis will help us to understand the participatory monitoring and evaluation creation process and identify the component and the rules inside our project phases, different phases of our project, starting from assessment of the needs before we write the project till evaluation of the impact after the end of the project by 3 or 5 years. Okay, and then we will recognize how the process of logical framework can help us to plan for the structure of our project and also to monitor for our activities inside the project in order to fulfill our goals, which we will write in a smart way of writing goals, and also implement some strategic guidelines for effective implementation for our project. In order to do that, we will find out that the logic frame will help us in planning for our project and also for the implementation of the theory of a change. Theory of change here, briefly, again, this means that we are really making a change in our community, starting from understanding the needs for our people in the community that our organization is working in, ending with measuring the impact that the people understood after they had attended our course or our program, if it is something really taking long time. And it is helping the team inside the project in order to start writing, understanding the community using the SWOT and the stakeholder analysis to understand the community they are working in, and also to design their project and implement this project, evaluate it. All this will be done by one-page thing called logical framework analysis. So it is a results-based tool used to conceptualize, design, implement, monitoring, and evaluating the project. It provides structure to the project, starting from planning process, helping to communicate essential information about the project to the stakeholders in an efficient, easy-to-read format, but it's also an instrument of logical analysis and structure thinking using in all phases or cycle of the project, starting from planning, implementing, evaluation, and even before that, from the point we are measuring the needs of our community and also understanding what kind of community that we are working in and the environment that we are working in. It's really a handful thing that you will see, and definitely if you are working as a project developer or a fundraiser, like a grant writer in an organization or a project manager, definitely you will need to understand this concept and how to use it, and you will need to understand what is the theory of change. So again, what is the advantage of the logical framework analysis or the logic framework matrix, or call it whatever you call it, or this helping tool in understanding the theory of change of your project or of your organization as a whole? It will help you to provide a one-pager summary for the busy people, the founders or the funders, both of them. So, and also it clarifies the logic of how the project is expected to work, or the follow of the project, and separate in different level of hierarchy of your objectives during the implementation of the project, after the end of the project, after even 3 years of the end of your project. Identify the main factors of your success and providing you with a basic tool of monitoring and evaluation and understanding your key performance indicators. Wonderful. Here it is. A table. Yeah, it is a table. So this table is helping you to understand everything happening inside the project in a really handful way. Okay, so let's read it and let's give an example for it so you will be able to implement it in your organization. Okay, so the first thing is the impact or the goal. Let's call it the impact now. The higher level of objective toward which the project is expected to contribute. So, for example, you are providing training course for women in order to be green entrepreneurs. So, after 3 years, for a woman who has attended this course, now she has her own brand of jam, for example. She learned how to use urban agriculture and to plant some fruits in her balcony or her house garden, and she is able now to produce jam and sell her own brand. So this and her business is really famous in the city that she is living. So this is an impact. This is really an impact. So we need to understand the verifiable indicators for this impact by asking ourselves these questions. What are the quantitative ways of measuring or qualitative ways of judging whether these broad objectives are being achieved in an estimated time? Estimated time can be 3 to 5 years. Okay, what is the mean of verification? What source of information exists or can be provided cost efficiently or effectively? Okay, how we will collect the data? Shall we go to this lady, ask her some questions, make an interview with her, make a successful story video for her story to understand how this turning point in her life appeared, how she attended the course one day and now she has her own business? Yeah, we can do that. This can help us. Making a simple interview with a simple video. Now we have a lot of technology that we can use by our mobiles to make this success story in a form of video and publish it in our organization website or social media to encourage other ladies to come to our courses and participate. And accordingly, we have to put some important assumption in our head. What is it? What external factors are necessary for sustaining objectives in the long run? For example, what are other factors? Maybe this lady already she studied business. That's why she is now, after she attended our course, she decided to be really a businesswoman. Or she really had really bad depression that she went to a therapist who convinced her to look over her skills, and this motivated her to open her own business. So there are other factors can help her to make this impact or to reach this impact, not only your course. So when you ask her these questions to verify that there is no other factors affected her decision to have this own business, you should put in your consideration to ask more questions, and accordingly you will learn something new. So you will change your target group in the future or change the trainers, like combine some therapists with the training course for the green entrepreneur women to convince this woman to open their business because they are passing by bad time in their life, for example. So having a therapist supporting your entrepreneur trainer coach helped you to do really good in the impact that you want for your project. So why not? So this lady inspired you when you studied the external factors that helped for her success after these 3 years from attending the course. Okay, so what can be the outcomes? The effect that is expected to be achieved as a result of the project outputs. So we need to ask ourselves, while we are writing the project or while we are implementing the project, we will really use this question actually to understand how the behavior of the people is changed after they attended the course directly. What is a quantitative measure or qualitative evidence by which achieved and distributed of impacts and benefit can be judged? So you ask the people how their behavior changed. This lady who finished just now, okay, not 3 years, not just now, she finished the course, and then you ask her, what do you know about green entrepreneurship? So before the course, before even she participated in the course, you did a baseline. As we said in the last video, you did a baseline evaluation or a report asking her what is internship, and she said that I don't know. Now she knows what is entrepreneurship, what is green entrepreneurship, and she understands it. And this means that there is a behavior change in her. And then you want to verify the information that you are getting by knowing what source of information exists and can be provided cost effectively. Thus provision for collection need to be made under inputs outputs. Like for example, when you are collecting this information, what kind of information that you can ask the woman questions and not cost a lot of money when you are collecting this data, but you want to make sure that she is answering the question honestly. So this you need to put in your consideration as well, because some people are lying in filling the surveys, for example. So you would like to change this method and do a focus group discussion. So the ladies will be encouraged to answer questions because they are sitting in informal way of a discussion, and each woman will be telling the truth about what she learned throughout the course. So the purpose or to goal, you need to understand what conditions external to the project are necessarily if achievements of the project's purpose is to contribute to reaching the project goal. Okay, so what other external factors can affect the woman? For example, when you implemented the course, you decided to have someone, a caregiver, to take care of the kids of the women while they are attending the course. So accordingly, each woman was really interested to attend the course, and she said that, okay, as long as there is someone to take care of my kids, I will go. Okay, so this was a factor and a motivation for the lady to come to the course actually. Or she is fed up with sitting at home with her kids and she finds it's a good opportunity to meet other ladies and also to chit chat and learn something new. Why not? But at least you reached your aim, that the woman came out from her home and learned something new. But this was another factor that was not directly an aim or a goal in your project. The outputs. What is the output? It is the results that are to be produced by the project in order to achieve project purpose. Number of training courses or number of sessions that you want to give in your course. Okay, what kind and quantity? Here we are not talking about quality anymore of the content, but we are talking about the quality of organizing the course or the quantity of the sessions provided or number of women attended. What source of information you will use, and what are the factors not within the control of the project which, if not present, are liable to restrict progress from outputs to achieve of project purpose. As I said, can be that the course provided some session for the kids parallel to the session for the women, some caregiver to take care or care day to host the kids so the ladies can learn something. This can be something else that you are doing. It's not directly affecting the project, but indirectly affecting the project, because it's not your aim actually to host kids and have a daycare for kids. Okay, so what else? The activities that must be undertaken in order to accomplish the outputs. We recommended that the VIs are included against all activities. This is essential for project reports and monitoring against the logic framework. Okay, activities. What does it mean? Here that I will have 3 sessions on entrepreneur, 3 sessions on green entrepreneur, 3 sessions on marketing, 3 sessions on e-commerce. So this I have to mention in numbers. I will not write I need sessions for entrepreneur, green entrepreneur, marketing, e-commerce. No, I have to write in details how many each activity will be done, because this can help me to do monitoring for the activities done after the end of each one. And accordingly, I will figure out how many, for example, coffee break I will do. So this part will help us to do the daily management of the project. So you can see now how this one page work table thing can help you to plan, understand your project, and also to implement your project and evaluate it. It's amazing, yeah, it's amazing. And then the activity to outputs, here we need to know some assumptions. What external factor must be realized to obtain planned outputs as scheduled, and what kind of decisions or activities outside the control of the project necessary to anticipation of the project. So if I am hosting someone as a caregiver or someone as someone to take care of the kids, so I would like to know how many women are attending the courses with their kids, how many kids, and how how much effort that need to take care of these kids, and accordingly I can decide how many person that I need to take care of the kid. Because if I have 10 kids, for example, it would be hard for one, and they are one person. If they are small, like really young, 1 year old or something like this, so I need two persons to take care. So this is something outside my control, but I need to put it out in my budget, because I will hire some two persons or three persons to take care of the kids of the women's attending to the project, for example. This is need to be anticipated in my budget. Okay, here is another example of the log framework, and it is divided differently, but we put the indicator here in the form of percentage. We put more information about the budget inputs. We put more information about the outputs in details, activities in details. We write everything. It's a different way of writing it, but the same idea, the same way of or technique. Okay, so when we are writing the key performance indicator, we need to, or the goals of our project, we need to understand this technique of SMART. What is SMART? SMART means specific. So we need to really have a specific idea what we are doing or why we are doing this activity. Exactly. What is it you want to achieve in your business or in your activities that you are doing? By asking yourself different questions: how, who, where, when, why, which, and this indicator has to be measurable. So I can say that how much the ladies love the course. Without saying that, I will measure that with so much or so less. Like I have to do something like really I can measure. I can measure by numbers, I can measure by categories, I can measure by percentage. I will be able to track the progress of the outputs or these outcomes in a form of something. So I can say how much or how many this can be measured. Action oriented. So what is the desired or desired result that I want at the end? So I want my objective to be described in the form of result. So this result has to be specific and also measured. It has to be realistic. For example, I can't make a course for ladies in a really poor area, and they have to take this course in English to improve their English while they can't read and write. So this is not realistic. It's putting me in a form of challenges in order to reach the objective. So the objective should not be something that is not logical or relevant to the communities that we are working in. Time-based, I have to put a deadline. I have to say that at the end of the second lecture or at the end of the course, this objective will be reached. At the end of the first lecture, the ladies will understand what the meaning of entrepreneurship. At the end of the second lecture, the ladies will understand what is the difference between entrepreneurship and green entrepreneurship. They will learn more about climate change crisis. They will learn more about how to fight against it, how to do some everyday basics stuff in order to contribute to the green entrepreneurship community. So this is a way of writing your objective. It has to be smart, specific, measurable, action oriented, realistic or relevant, time-based objective. Okay, so here the general guidelines for us in order to use the logic framework, not only to write our project, but also to plan strategically for our organization and develop implementation strategy for our plan, and with more action and guidance, including the monitoring and evaluation process to be guided throughout the log framework. And we are able to introduce ready and rapid way of acting toward any change happening inside the implementation of the project or the program as a whole, having smart and clear objectives, build in enough people, time, attention, money, administration, and support services to ensure successful implementation for the project, and link this way of log framework analysis to our ongoing operation for our project. We can go through it, we can use it in applying for a fund, we can use it to follow up or overview what's happening inside our project, we can use it as a way for communication, we can use it as a way for planning and implementation throughout our project. So it's also helping us quickly to avoid unnecessary or undesirable competition or some priorities that can come up, or problems, because we have a plan, we have a budget that mentioned inside, and we know our limits. We focus on maintaining coalition between people as we are involving our internal and external stakeholders in the process, so we can share it with our stakeholders since the beginning of the project writing process, because it also includes understanding the needs of our community before also we start the project, and also can help us to do any changes and be anticipated in any changes happening inside the project, helping us to learn more and help us to plan quickly actually, and understand the project in a way and introduce it to anyone. There is another way of writing it like this. So this is an example. I would like you to mute and read and see how to implement one of these in your organization. Really. Now, what we learned from this video? I hope that I didn't speak a lot, but you also enjoyed learning what is a log framework analysis and how it is a result-based tool in order to help you in all phases of your project in planning, implementing, and evaluation, and what is the advantage that you can use in order to have a clear way and logical way of monitoring and evaluating your project by having really smart goals. And now it's your time actually to write your own process of monitoring and evaluation using the log framework. Enjoy and see you in the other videos in order to understand more how to do our monitoring and evaluation process in a participatory way inside our organization.